Giving you all a chance to get in here. Wise Solace speaking, for those of you who are new. Visit the website, upscaleknowledge.org. And if you want to reach me, not Google, but email upscaleknowledge@gmail.com. My channel is a little bit hacked, so bear with me. Like I said, I'm giving you all a chance to get in here. Okay, they made some updates to the app. Got me confused though. Peace and wisdom, Marcos Alvarez. Now I want to explain this deep video for you guys. This should help everyone to grasp what God is in reality. Meaning everyone has their belief system, or their religion, or their way of life. Their connection with this word, God. Some of you guys have a name for it, like Allah. But beyond the word, there's no connection. There's no knowing beyond that word. Meaning if I ask most people, what is God in reality specifically? All unseen things are the precursor to what is seen. In that, whatever God this unseen thing is, it should have a physical manifestation. And so after you watch this video thoroughly, you should be crystal clear on what God is. Now y'all have your belief systems and things like that, so it may not fall in line with what you want to hear. But hopefully it gives you guys some clarity in that you know things are real and you know to stay on top of your thing. Your thing being yourself. Peace and wisdom, Waniqua Frank, and everybody else that I miss. Mariam Ali. Lion Zion, salam. Now let's begin. You have the Mesopotamian cultures of old, ancient times. This is your Sumerians, your Hurrians, Akkadians, your ancient people that would have lived on what we call the Middle Eastern Plateau. So basically your ancient Arabians are the precursor to what we call Arabians. But when you're dealing with the Mesopotamian cultures, these is your earliest cities, are your first recorded. So I'm not saying there weren't cities before this, but in regards of record, your ancient Mesopotamian cultures. And I want to say Egypt was around at that time as well, but like I said, sticking with record, your Mesopotamian cultures would have been your oldest. Now, when you're dealing with these ancient people, they worshipped a god named Alalu, spelled A-L-A-L-U. Alalu, Alala. It's also pronounced just Al-Al, meaning in some spellings it's Alala, in some spellings it's just Al-Al, A-L-A-L. And this was the god that the ancient people worshipped, Alal. Now this is back when Christianity and Islam would have been the same religion. Kind of like you have Baptist and Catholic. But they're from the same religion. If you go back far enough, it's just a Roman religion, Roman Catholic thing, like that. When you go back to the ancient Mesopotamian times, a lot of the different variations of religions we have now, they was just one religion at that time, meaning everybody had the same understanding in the world. Of course, their dialect and language may have been different, but the understanding was the same. And so, like I said, the people of them times, they worshiped the god named Al-Al. Now, this is the precursor to Islam, or you can say this is where Islam derives. Christianity as well, but mainly Islam, because y'all still hold the name. Now, if you're an Islamic person, you have Surah 96. It's called Al-Alaq. A-L-A-L-A-Q. Al-Alaq. That surah is for the god Al-Al. Al-Al and Allah is the same deity. If you're lost, you have Allah. A-L-L-A-H. It comes from Al-Ilah. A-L-I-L-A-H. Al-Ilah. You have the god Al-Al. That comes from Alala, like Alila. It's all on the pronunciation of whatever culture is speaking it. I'm giving you that example. The god Alal is the same as the god Allah. We just going back before Islam or before the times that we have now, where y'all call it Islam and the god's name is Allah. But you get my point? Now, that same god Alal in Islam and today is Allah. In ancient Hebrew, Hallel. And of course, we're not in ancient Hebrew times anymore. We in Christian times, which is, like I said, it's the same. And so there's no more Hallel, it's just El. But you get my point? So you have the Mesopotamian god Al-Al. I suppose the Hebrews was around during that time, so they have the same god, Hellel, H-E-L-E-L. Move forward ahead in time, you have Islam, the god Allah, same as Allah. Christianity, they dropped the Hell, L, and just left the L. But you get it? I'm giving you guys all the renditions you need so you can grasp. This god Alal is the god that everybody in the world worships. It's just different cultures have different dialect. Meaning, I'm English, so I say L. But let's say you're from an Arabic nation, so maybe y'all pronounce y'all L's like Al. Just because of the dialect, it may come off sounding like that to somebody who's English. Instead of it being a strong L, kind of have like an Al, depending on, the dialect of the tongue. Now, like I said, Allah, which is the Mesopotamian deity, Allah, which is the Islamic deity, Hallel, which is the Hebrew deity, and El, which is the Christian deity, are all the same entity, only separated by dialect. Now, what's being pronounced is the letter L, meaning all them renditions are all them different names that the different cultures had. Allah, Alal, Hellel, El. It's all the different pronunciations being spelled out of the letter L. So if I tell you guys, spell the letter L, well, you have to sound out what you're saying and then write it. So, you say, okay, E, L, maybe an I in there, maybe an L, L, depending on how you hear it. So the spelling may be different. Maybe you just hear E-L. You get it? Maybe somebody else, the way they speak, they say L. And that you hear A-L. So like that, the different cultures are spelling the letter L and pronunciating it, like the sound of it. So, Allah, la la la, that's the sound of the letter L. E-L, L, that's the spelling of the letter L. Alal, that's the pronunciation of the letter. Meaning if I tell most of you guys, focus when you say L. And if you spell out every syllable, you will realize it's kind of like A-L-A-L or E-L-E-L. L. L. It carries on. Kind of like Egypt is egg. But you have to, listen to your sound. Egg. As the lips are closing, you have the you have the YPT. Egg. Like that. Egypt is pronounced egg. And so, like I said, when you're dealing with the ancient cultures, they're spelling or they're pronunciating the letter L. So all them renditions, Alal, El, Hel, Hellel, Allah, El, it's all different renditions of the letter L. Now, the letter L is for Lucifer. Lucifer is the light bringer, meaning Lucifer is translated from light bringer. And that's what the L, whether you're saying Allah, Alal, Hellel, or El, you're saying the letter L for Lucifer. Lucifer being the light bringer. So in the past, they worshiped the light bringer. In the daytime, y'all worship the light bringer, pronunciating the letter L, however y'all do and however you spell it. Now, if you're lost, you say, no, that might not be right. Listen, when you're dealing with the ancient Mesopotamian deity Al-Al, or Alala, this was the god that was over all the other gods. So if you know your Sumerian or your ancient Mesopotamian scholarship, even if you read like Zechariah Sitchin books, I think that's not Zechariah Sitchin, Chariot of the Gods guy, his books, I forget his name. It's not Zechariah Sitchin, that's the dude that translates, but it's right on the tip of my tongue. I'm not sure if y'all read that book, Chariot of the Gods. Eric von Däniken. Maybe you read some of Eric von Däniken books and he have, Alala in there, spelled A-L-A-L-U. Some people may pronounce it Alalu, but the U is so it's Alala. A-L-L-A-L-L, Alala. But that deity, the ancient Mesopotamian deity, Alal or Alala, this was the god over all the other gods. It wouldn't matter what god you name. Anna or Anu, but it's Anna. That means heaven. So you can say Anna is the personification of heaven to the Mesopotamian people. Anna was Alala's cupbearer. That means beneath thee. Whoever we speaking of is above heaven. So Alala's the most high. Wouldn't matter what God you talking about. He come first. Whatever y'all have as the heights, which is heaven, even this thing is like the footstool to Alala, something you stand on. Now in the past, a cupbearer was someone, you know, like an end table, you put your glass on it. Well, the kings of old, you can say, or the gods of old, they had big ego. You don't need an end table. I'll just have someone stand here and hold my glass for me. You get it? And so like that. Any foolish talk, I'm gonna let you guys go. Like I said, focus, please. Salam. Now, in ancient Mesopotamian culture, like I said, Alala, this is the most high God over all the other ones. Now, Alala is the God that was banished from heaven or exiled to the opposite of heaven, which would be below or the underworld. So Alala, according to text, is the most high who was cast away by Anna or heaven, making him God of the underworld. We're speaking of Alala. Now, if you read like Eric von Däniken books, Alala is the one that they say was exiled to Mars. But Mars, like I always tell you guys, well, not Mars, but it's not Mars. I guess somewhere in translation it got confused because Mars is a modern day word, meaning the ancient Mesopotamians was not writing Mars. That's our word. So somewhere in translation it got lost, but they weren't saying Mars. They were saying like the abyss, which is where Mars is for y'all. It's out in the darkness. And so it's to say that you had heaven and the most highest God was cast away or became the opposite. Now, that's your God Alalu. Cast out of heaven. He was the most high God, but he was cast out of heaven or Anna to below, the underworld. Now in Christian scholarship, you have the deity Hellel, or in Hebrew scholarship, you have Hellel. Of course, Hebrew became Christianity, but you get my point? You have Hellel or Lucifer. And of course, Lucifer was the brightest star in heaven, or he was above everything else in heaven. So he was the most high, Lucifer. And he was cast into Sheol, which is the darkness. Do you see the similarities in the story? That part. So when I say, whether you worship Allah, Hallel, or El, you're worshiping the lightbringer. And the lightbringer is Lucifer, and that's the story of the lightbringer, the one that fell, or cast away to the opposite of heaven, which is light and consciousness. Now, everybody in the world worships the lightbringer, Allah. But this is the false God that's seen. Whether you're speaking of, you could view the sun as a light bringer, something you see that's the most high, that falls. You can view yourself as the light bringer. You're awake right now, by days in, you get it? You're going to get set, meaning pulled into your darkness. But you're not the true light bringer, and neither is the sun. If I ask all of y'all, what is the bringer of the light? Whether you speak in consciousness or just light like the sun rising, which is the same. What brings forth that? The darkness. You follow? unconsciousness. Y'all all have an unconsciousness, which is a darkness. That is the bringer of the light, meaning that's what raises the sun and sets it. That's what raises y'all from y'all slumber and sets y'all. And so, do you grasp? The light bringer is truly not Lucifer. It's the darkness. The same darkness y'all know that pull y'all, you get it? Out of y'all consciousness. It puts y'all in dream, awake, darkness, in any other place you never even heard of. But men think he in control and he know. You follow? Meaning all y'all are controlled by y'all darkness, but you're not aware of that. So you wake up, you carry on about your day, forgetting I could be set right now by the darkness. That part. In the past, they understood that is God and that is what rule over everything. It never said God was in heaven. It said God set Lucifer from it. You get it? Lucifer was the brightest in heaven. It never said God was there with them. But it did say God set Lucifer. And so think of the sun. The sun is the brightest thing in the sky. But it can't stop itself from being set. Same as y'all. Got a physical life, running about, being about, but y'all can't control not getting set into unconscious. Like that. In the past, they understood that was God over everything. Awake, sleep, dream, meaning you control when you go to dream? No. You control when you wake up into physical life and can see? No. You just wake up. You control when you go into unconscious? No, right? That part. You know what control all them aspects of yourself? That thing we can't see, which is the darkness. The shade of Allah. It's not to say the God is the darkness, but that's all you have of it. And that's all you need of it to know that you have no control. It does. Whether you can see it, perceive it, or not. You get it? Most can't perceive unconsciousness because they have no consciousness in it. That's God. There you go, Simone Heard. Now the story of Lucifer is to show you, like, whatever y'all thought was God or the most highest thing, it can be brought down by what y'all don't see. What's just darkness to y'all. You get it? And so it's a deep thing. Let me give y'all a secret. When Lucifer was cast from heaven, this is the light bringer. Heaven went dark. Same way you see in the daytime. When the sun set out the sky go dark. Wherever the light go, that's where heaven is. When it go below, hellfire. But like I told y'all before, everything you want to know about existence is in a day. You just got to pay attention to your 24 hours and the many different lessons in it. It's repeating, so you have time as long as you do. Now, I'm going to let you go in a minute. I'm going to let you go, Salam. Now, let's get to the deep parts. Hopefully y'all are grasping. God is the darkness of what y'all know as unconsciousness. In ancient Egypt, that was none. None is the God that is before all the other gods. And none is the God that could make, like, set all the other gods. Like, Everything starts with none, it ends with none. You get my part? None being the unconscious, the nameless one. Now, Lucifer is the false god. Lucifer being Alalu, Allah, Hellel, or Giselle. This is the false god. This is the light bringer. But the light bringer, which I would view as like the sun or whatever raises up, is not the true God. Like I said, you can use yourself as an example. You wake up, in that you're like the light bringer. Meaning, in that perspective, you're like the sun when it's rising, coming forth by day, or to see. But you're not in control of that. You're not in control if you get set. So the story of Lucifer is to let you see, like, there's a God above the most highest God that y'all know of. That God is responsible for whatever you get. Awake or unconsciousness, dream, anything y'all can think of in reality. If you're rich right now, it's because of what you don't know. Not to say it's good or bad, but meaning you're being given wealth could be for bad reasons. But it's given to you by the only God there is in existence that none of y'all or anybody in time seem to grasp. Now, the darkness, I don't want to say the darkness, but what is overall, the darkness, the light, anything you could think of, is set the light into the darkness. This is Lucifer, was cast into the darkness, but I'm avoiding using names so y'all grasp. The light was cast into the darkness, so the darkness be raised out physically. Meaning, in the darkness, you have your oocyte cells. These are the cells that make the menses cycle. The Exile, this is the body, or earth. The menses, this is your realms of matter, meaning menstrual cycle, blood. This is where the egg is. Of course, substance comes from airs. So you can look at the dark space. That's your dark airs, manifesting what we know as the menses cycle. This is earth, this is matter. This is the precursor to the body. Now, when the light from heaven, this is the Spirit of God, is pulled from heaven into the darkness, do you get it? All of that manifests out instead of being washed away. And that's the point of all of that. You get my point? Meaning that's the point of the deity y'all known as Lucifer, or the light bringer, being set out of heaven and cast below, so that he raise it like a hell raiser. When a woman gets pregnant, there's no menstrual. All that is the menstrual manifest out as physical baby, a multi-cell organism. It started with a bunch of cells. A bunch of sperm cells went into the womb, and do you get it? Nothing was pushed out, it all was born out. And that, do you get it? The Spirit of God, or the light, is drawn from heaven into the darkness so that it raises it. In that, you'll have a physical heaven in perspective. And what is raising everything out of the darkness, this would be Lucifer. It's not the true God, though, but that's how it will be perceived, because that's what's seen. And that, when I say, man, who responsible for y'all raising up out of y'all slumber? Most of y'all would have said, I don't know. You know now, like, oh yeah, unconsciousness. Consciousness expands from that. So that is what's bringing forth the light. But you would look like God because you're the one walking around speaking, not the unconsciousness. We all know we have it, but do you get my point? We all speak as we have a control, never mentioning that. Saying, like, well, I'm awake right now, but I could be asleep and dead in the next second. The unconscious control that. Not some nigga walk up, shoot you in your head, nothing. You get shot in your head right now, you can come out of that darkness. There's many people who got shot in their head, still got life. But it ain't because of them. They didn't do nothing. They just got shot in the head and the darkness raised them out of it. The same way every night y'all fall into unconsciousness and y'all do not know how y'all get out of it, but y'all do. In that, the unconscious is the light bringer, or the true God, over, awake, or the light being raised, the light being set, the light going into dream, nightmare, anywhere you could think. When I'm saying light, I'm speaking of consciousness. The unconsciousness is in control of that, never having to reveal itself. You either notice or you don't. If you don't, in the darkness you remain. You get my point? Meaning the light's drawn from heaven, but the light can go back. It served its point. But if the light don't get that, you get my point? Look at it like this. You have your physical body. This is your darkness. If you don't come to realize anything I'm saying, so you will be bound to it by your wrongdoing. Like how a woman is in a bad relationship and she just won't get out of it. Like the little kid is in a gang and he knowing he gonna get his head blown off, but for some reason he just won't walk away, whether it be pride, whatever. And so do you get it? People will bind themselves to things that will bring them all the way down. Why don't they walk away? No one knows. It just happens like that. It's an awareness thing. In that, do you get it? A lot of y'all are bound to the world, the ideals of the world. You're bound to the desires of your flesh. In that, when you die, you're going to be attached. So, a bound thing can't move forward. And so the story of Lucifer is revealing true God, or the story of Alalu, all being the same story. And whatever gods y'all have, they don't matter. So some of y'all say, man, on Monday, the eclipse is it. If the unconscious say you're not going to wake up on Monday, you won't. You can plan ahead all you want. Jesus coming back when the eclipse comes. You won't be present for it if the unconsciousness say so. So why is you worrying about false gods? That part. Tell me when I'm wrong. Jesus gonna come back and save me. Can't nothing save you from unconsciousness if it say no. That's that. You can get mad about it all you want and say, no, I think Jesus is God. Cool, you're gonna get set into your darkness this evening, and that's that. And you're gonna die. And that's all the doings of the unconsciousness, or what lies behind it, what is hidden, the hidden hand. And so in physical life, y'all know, I apologize. Thank you to whoever gave back. I appreciate that. I didn't even want to say nothing in this video, but thank you. Whoever does, salam. Now, it wouldn't matter what God you have, because the God you have is just a word. It's just ideals put into your head. And everything I'm saying don't even have to be said. You get it? Meaning, y'all say God is whatever y'all heard in physical reality. I say God is y'all unconsciousness. You don't have no name. And all the gods y'all worship is basically Hellel, or the lightbringer, the one that was cast down. You can use yourself as an example, the sun. Anything you see raising up and then falling down. When I say raising up and falling down, I'm speaking consciously. Becoming awake and then going unconscious. When you see the sun set into its darkness, same difference. The same story of the light bringer that y'all heard before. Meaning the same story of Lucifer, you see it in the sun. You see it in self when you wake up, and then by day's end you set into your darkness. Kicked out of heaven. You don't know why. Like that. You have all the examples of what I'm saying in reality. These things not needing no name. You need no name and no personification to understand the realities of life, which is the darkness rules everything. And until y'all get that, y'all gonna be in it. You follow? These matters ain't for y'all to judge. Say, no, I want to worship the right deity. You better be aware of reality, and that's it. And you better learn not to take no sides, because sides is above you. Stay in the balance. Stay in the reality. You follow? Be fair and just in your ways. And then from there, you have this thing called unconsciousness. It's the most generous. It's like Surah Al-Alaq says. This is the Surah for the god Alalu, the Mesopotamian deity. It says, your Lord, who created man from a clot, speaking of the exile or the menses. And your Lord is most generous. Generous because that shit let y'all out. Meaning the unconscious is the most generous thing you know. Lest you be still asleep right now. And it bless you every day. It don't have to. It puts you in dream, nightmare. It puts you anywhere it want. If it don't, then what do? That part. And we all got that unconsciousness with us. And that you can't say it ain't real, because we all know it. That's God manifested, but you can't see it. You don't need to worry about seeing it. You just need to know, like Muslims say, it's the most generous, the irresistible, meaning y'all cannot avoid unconsciousness. Not irresistible like I like this thing and I want to go to it. Above that. Irresistible like who cares what you think. You will be yoked in. End of story. Like that. The irresistible. The most generous. The everlasting. Do you follow? We all awake. The sun rises because the unconscious rises it. And that the sun or you see whatever the unconscious wants you to. You perceive however the unconscious say you should. If it say you should have nightmare, you gonna have nightmare. Like that. And man live their life never becoming aware of that. They give honor and reverence to many things outside of themselves. All of us having that same thing inside of ourselves. And so, everybody worships the light, or what they think is the light bringer. This is Lucifer. As Allah, Hellel, or El. But, do you get it? That is not God. That is what gets set by God to make the example that nothing y'all know hold any merit to the one and only. Say, what's the only one thing in life you know? Unconscious. The conscious is many. I'm conscious, you conscious, everybody conscious. And y'all all y'all own individuals, seeing however you want. But all of our unconsciousness is one. Meaning it's one thing, one individual, and there is no other individual in the presence of it. Meaning when you go unconsciousness, you don't exist to your own self. You know how y'all like to think y'all above things? It don't even give you option. You're beneath it. End of story. Your perspective don't even matter. Let me take it from you. You don't need it. Like that. Everything is beneath it. It decide what's going to be. And until you come to grasp that, y'all gonna be worshiping false idols, false ideals, forgetting about what is with y'all. You gonna go ride with your homies today and shoot somebody? Your unconsciousness is a real thing, and you better come to know that. It control if you gonna have consciousness or not. It's gonna control if the person you shoot still be alive and come back for your ass or not. Do you follow? In that, God is always watching. This is where all of these little phrases come from. They're references to the unconsciousness that y'all overlook. Now it says, in your Lord who created man from a clot, and your Lord is most generous. He who taught with the pen taught man what he never knew. Now a penis is like a pen. The ink would be the seminal fluid that comes out of it. And within the ink or the seminal fluid, you have the words. These are your sperm cells, their seeds. When they plant it in their soil, which is the menses, they manifest out as living beings speaking word. So they're called words. The dick is the pen, the seminal fluid is the ink, the sperm cell are the words. Do you follow? And so when it says, he who taught by the pen, do you grasp? It's saying God is the hidden hand. The dick is the closest thing that y'all have to this God. The dick being like a key. If you look at the balls in the dick, it's like a key. That's the keys to Sheol. Like I said, the fluid go into the darkness and raise all that bloody hell up. You follow? And so it's saying the dick or the pen that belong to the author. It's being God, not man. It's just a tool that man has in regards to him knowing it and knowing himself. When he says, he who taught by the pen taught man what he never knew. It's talking about himself. Man don't know how he come to be. He don't know himself. But the lessons is there in life every day. There's just no awareness. And so when y'all give reference to these false ideals in gods, Jesus, Allah, this thing, that thing, it's about you coming to know your unconsciousness and piercing through that slowly over time, getting a greater and greater understanding, a closer and closer bond with God. It's not about you blabbering to other people. I know God, praise Jesus, I'm a wash up in the blood. You're not going to do nothing if the unconsciousness say you're going to be unconscious. Jesus can raise you up and then you die because the unconsciousness said that part. Jesus is like the light from heaven. What you think made Lucifer fall out of heaven, the same thing that make you fall out of a wake, what always got the power. So y'all hear the story about the angels in heaven and Lucifer being the most high. But it wouldn't matter because he still can get set. And every light or consciousness in heaven could get set. And so do y'all see the abundance of people that rise and fall? Or wake up and go to sleep? I'll say that again. Do y'all see the amount of people that rise and fall or wake up and then get dragged into sleep? Like that. All the consciousness or light in heaven could be set by the darkness. Like that. So most of y'all know the Lucifer story, and he was the most high, but do you get it? And you view yourself as the most high. But do you get it? You could still be dragged into nothingness. And that's what's in control, what y'all cannot see. And so placing false names over that thing when you don't need to, because we all know what it is, it's an insult and a blasphemy. To say you're going to wash up in the blood of a lamb and all of this weird stuff, making God a beast of the field, well, that's why you get set every day. Call it timeout. And so grasp, everybody's consciousness gets drawn into the unconsciousness because that's the all-knowing and the all-seeing. And you won't see nothing, you won't know nothing. If the unconsciousness say, you could be unconscious right now and you won't know nothing. You won't even know you exist or got kids. Like that. I don't think y'all thinking to the extremes. Y'all don't know y'all in existence when y'all unconscious. That means you can't save yourself and can't nothing save you. What's going to come into your unconsciousness and get you? Nothing can, unless the unconsciousness, that same thing that push y'all awake every day, it got to say. Nothing else. And so, most people don't know how to worship what is hidden the right way. And so y'all reach for what's seen, so to say. And so what's seen is y'all words, y'all descriptions of God. You know, God being a white dude on a cross, or a Puerto Rican dude on a cross, with spit on their face, bird's nests on their head, blasphemies. You get it? That image is an image of blasphemy. How can God get beat up and turned into a shish kebab? I'm saying a shish kebab because that's meat on a stick. And they ate the poor God, so Jesus had the Last Supper. He gave them bread and wine. He said, pretend it's me. So when I say they ate the poor God, well, what you think they was practicing that for at the Last Supper? They was practicing it for the next day when he get crucified and become meat on a stick. And so y'all say God is a lamb. And ain't nothing tastes better than lamb chops. You get my point? And so y'all let encourage the blaspheme, not even realizing it. But we all go into that darkness or the unconsciousness. And y'all be judged for that. When you're dealing with the Igbo people, they believe Allah, L-A-A-L-A. Remember I told you Allah, Allah, all of those is the same deity. The ancient Mesopotamian deity, Allah, meaning Allah, Hallel, El. Even the Igbo people's God, Allah, A-L-A. All them deities is the same deity. The ancient Mesopotamian deity known as Alalu. To the Igbo people, Allah is the god of the underworld, responsible for their law and judging them. Do you grasp? In Islam, Allah is a dark shade. But this dark shade is the true light. Do y'all follow everything I just said? Y'all worshiping the darkness by means of false things, not truly understanding. You don't have to seek and search through words and personifications and books. The knowledge of self. All you have to do is become aware. And you can become aware when you know, ask for understanding. Respect that understanding when you receive it. Some of y'all asked for understanding before this video came on. Respect understanding when you receive it, lest you get dumb from there. And so when y'all make y'all little pacts with God, say you find yourself in trouble, you say, if it'll get me out of trouble, I ain't never gonna do it again, and then you do it again. You got hell to pay, but you don't realize, you know, the unconsciousness or the darkness with you that you truly speaking to. Some of y'all say, man, if I could just have understanding of what life, death, and all these things in life truly is, and then you get that understanding, and you don't like it, hell to pay. Don't play with God in no way. And so, hopefully y'all grasp the things I teach is for y'all. Peace and wisdom, Michael. He said we aren't normal, means equal. So, I'm not sure what you're saying. Holly and Wise said, wow, that makes life a lot easier. There's a billion gods to choose from. There's a billion things for y'all to choose from. There's only one thing y'all fall to that don't have to get no permission from y'all. Like I said, when y'all put in a dream, y'all put into unconsciousness, y'all put into awake, a nightmare, hardship, good grace, it's all the doings of the unconsciousness. It starts with the beginning of the day. Your ass is dead and unconscious. And then you wake up because of that darkness. It brought forth the light. That's your goofy ass. Same way it brought forth the sun and its goofy ass. And that's what's going to set you. And everything start there. You wake up because of that glory, and all the benefits you get, or the hardships you get, or whatever comes your way is by means of the darkness. You know how people like to tell you, man, this is how you get rich, or this is how you succeed, or this is how you do this. They don't know how they got nothing they got. It was by the same grace that let them wake up. And had they known that, they just be thankful. Like I always tell y'all, gratitude. You didn't have to wake up. So it starts there. Be grateful. No matter what. You can, if you can see negative, you can see. You get it? How can you only see one and not the other? Well, that's imbalance. But you get my point. Find balance. That means fair. You be fair, you will be dealt with fairly. You don't be fair, and you will be dealt with unfairly. You will be dealt with by whatever you are. Every day of your life is your record. You overlooked truth yesterday, on your record. You did this thing unfairly, on your record. And that when y'all die, no conversation need be had between you and God. You did all the doing. The record was just kept. In that, you complete your case to yourself while in the darkness. And so it's best y'all be balanced in y'all ways, be fair. You view life as this. You here to tidy up the place so you have a nice place to live in. Like I said, the light from heaven was drawn into the darkness just so all can manifest out. So we have physical heaven to run around, live in, eat fruit. Everything you heard in heaven is here. Fruit grow out the ground so y'all eat. Rivers is running with water that y'all, turn into sewer systems. But everything is here for us. All we got to do is keep up with it. When we stop doing that, then you see my point? Y'all dead in jail and ain't got nowhere to grow. Whether you talking food or self. And So make sure you balance. You're not responsible for the world. You're just responsible for yourself. And your actions is a grain of salt with everybody else's grain of salt making for a whole pile. And so you want to make sure the grain of salt you are is in the right pile. Like I said, you have awake and you have unconsciousness, and y'all are thrown in between the two your whole life. And you becoming one or the other. You can view truth as knowing and lie as nothing. And so you becoming either the nothingness, which is the unconsciousness, or you becoming more and more awake and receiving that darkness. And the darkness covers true God, meaning y'all will never see the face like it say. No man has ever seen the face of God. And you don't need to question why. You say why? Because you won't even have sight. That's enough. You could see other people, good. Let that be the lesson. I want to see God. No, you don't. You seen enough from yet. And so y'all can ignore what I just said, but God is with y'all, like I said. Whether you grasp this God or not, whether you view this God as an evil thing or not, you better learn. So it's a new thing. Now I'm gonna take a restroom break. Give me a second. So long. Okay, if you have any questions, y'all can ask before I depart. Holy and Wise said, "This is true. I only start to remember my life the closer I get to waking up from sleep." This has nothing to do with sleep, though. Are you remembering anything? Y'all need to forget all the lies y'all got. All you need to do is know what I just said. Salam. Thank you all out too. Thank you for your balance and giving back. And so like I said, whether you worship Allah or El, that's Christianity and Islam, that come from the Mesopotamian deity Alalu, and all of those is just the different pronunciations or spellings of the letter L, which is for Lucifer, the lightbringer, or the La, which is the sound the L makes. La 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 la. L-I-E-R-L-A-H. Same difference. It means bullshit talk. Meaning if somebody hits you with either or, you're a lie or a la 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 la, and put their hands over their ears. They mean the same thing. You full of shit and don't nobody want to hear your lie. And so, you pronunciate the letter L, you get the gods that y'all worship, which is the lightbringer, Lucifer, the false light. And so y'all can use the sun or yourselves as a manifestation of this Lucifer deity that y'all heard of. Meaning, y'all see the sun rise above everything else. Y'all rise above the darkness within self, the unconsciousness, just like the sun rises above night, but it ain't got no control of it staying there or rising. Y'all have no control of y'all waking up or getting pulled into unconsciousness. The darkness do. And so, this is where man losing his ego come into play. All you need to do is kick back and enjoy the ride. What you receive is the grace and glory. Stop looking at the next person. Their unconsciousness and whatever they have and whatever the purpose of them having it for is their own lesson. Everybody who y'all see that's rich, it's a punishment for some of them. And their wealth is a punishment, and they're aware of that because it's horrible. You get it? They like fucked up. Meaning they drugged out and all kind of things, and the money is letting them bring themselves to their lows, which is probably the point and the lesson. Just like everybody that's poor ain't suffering. Just like everybody that's rich ain't enjoying themselves. Everybody has their own lesson, their own grace, their own gifts, just like they have their own talent. But everybody think they're in control. You follow? In that, like I said, that's where the ego kick in. Where one have to come to terms with, it's this unconscious thing that's with me, and it kind of control if I get set into unconsciousness. It control if I get awake. It control what dream I have. It control what nightmare I have. Shit, I hit the lottery, I don't know why. Some of you niggas became famous rappers, you don't know why. But you tell people, like, no, let me give you the blueprint on how you do it. You don't even know how you did it. That part. Jay-Z don't have no clue how he end up where he end up. Neither do Dame Dash. Neither do none of y'all. But y'all speak like y'all do after experiencing whatever path y'all was put on. Then y'all speak from the experience of walking on the path, forgetting I didn't make the path, nor was I the one that came to it. I was just directed there for the most part. The young kid that's in the streets, he not in the streets because of his own doing. If he was in there for his own doing, you'd be able to reach him. I'm saying no matter what I tell this boy, he seem to don't get it. Because it ain't got nothing to do with him. His unconsciousness say he gonna be in the streets. Just like his unconsciousness say this evening he gonna get a nightmare. And he ain't got no say in it. And this is why when you trying to make sense to him, it don't make sense. Or you don't see him obliging like it do. You see the junkie in front of the store, and you say, man, you need to get off the drugs, man, look where it got you. And they just stay on drugs and don't pay you no mind. And you knowing like nobody don't want that for themselves. So why are they there? Because they unconsciousness say that's where they're gonna be. Until they get it. You get it? And that's how I go with everybody. Y'all gonna be where y'all be, and y'all gonna get ping-ponged all over the washing machine effect. You're gonna be awake, unconscious, in dream, nightmare, here, there, and there. Like the Satan said, I've been coming to and fro in the earth, and I don't know where I'm at. Like that. And that's gonna be like that till you get it. That you have no control. All you need to do is be just in your ways and be grateful that you got the first glory. which is awake. I want a Rolls Royce. You can't drive a Rolls Royce without no awake. You can't do nothing without being awake. And so that's the first gift and the first glory every day. From there, if you got legs, then you be thankful for those, so you get up and move about. You don't have legs, but you got arms, you gotta thank that and get to moving about. You ain't got none of that, but you got a mind where you could think and speak. You better be thankful for that. Otherwise, there's always nothing. Every night y'all get to see nothing. You decide you want to be grateful or not. And so, death's the same. You're going to see nothing, and you're going to see something, and you decide what you want. From there, you got to learn a thing called truth. Stand on that and walk with that. Or stay judgmental and pull for whatever idols you want. That's a reflection of wherever you at. You lost in lies, so you reach for that. You feel low or your life ain't what you want it to be, so you reach to hear like how other people's lives is fucked up. Only bringing your life down more. But it make you feel like, you know, you're raising up a little bit, make you feel better. Whatever you do, you know, whatever you are, that's what you're going to pull for. Until you come to know, God being what I said, it starts there, grasping and knowing. From there, there's many lessons, but now let this be the first one of y'all grasping. Now I'm about to depart. Now, I know I took a long while to do this video. I want to say this for some of y'all that don't grasp. I'm a father and a grandfather, so the other day my son had a problem in school. I had to go there. And you get my point? My grandson, he had strep throat the other day. He better now. My son good now. I went down to the school, but you get my point? I'm saying that so y'all could grasp. I'm not some imaginary character or whatever you made up in life. I have responsibilities and things to do. And so, whenever I get a chance, I'll give y'all a little wisdom. Be balanced in your ways. Fair with me. Fair with me in minds. Take the Jews. Make the best of it. Now I'm about to depart. Peace and wisdom lie on Zion and everybody else that comes in here. For the point of what I come for. Salam.